We as a nation are reaping a fresh crop of criminals on a daily basis. Evidently, we have fertilized the crop, nourished it, and we are reaping a growing crime wave. Americans are feeling the effects of this growing crime wave. A report in the Daily Mail titled, "Ever More Americans Say the Justice System is Soft on Criminals and Want Cops on the Street, Not in Anti-Bias Workshops," clearly shows how many Americans feel about the justice system. A large and fast-growing number of Americans say they don't feel safe in their own neighborhoods and that the justice system is not doing enough to lock up criminals, a shock poll shows. A Gallup poll reveals, quote, "Americans have consistently lacked confidence in the U.S. criminal justice system, and once again a majority views it as not tough enough," close quotes. Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowers has declared a public emergency over worrying numbers of robberies, carjackings, and even homicides by child offenders. Recently, a New York City police officer, 34-year-old Jonathan Diller, was killed by a career criminal. The bullet hit the officer under his vest. The gunman had at least 21 prior arrests. Many New Yorkers are wondering why this monster was prowling the streets with a firearm as a free man. Is getting tough on criminals the answer to this problem? Psychologists claim it is not the answer. Dr. William Kelly, writing for Psychology Today, argues that punishment for criminals is not the answer. In a report titled "Why Punishment Does Not Reduce Crime," Dr. Kelly argues that 60% of criminal offenders have mental health problems, and between 50 and 60% of criminal offenders have had one traumatic brain injury. The relationship between poverty, trauma, and neurocognitive impairment is well established. Kelly blames the problem on the failure to adequately fund public health. Whatever we think of Dr. Kelly's assessment, there are a couple of considerations that need to be mentioned. First of all, people living in America need to be protected from murderous criminals. It is not right that innocent people are preyed on by criminals. Secondly, the failure to adequately fund public health can be attributed to the fact that America has open borders. We are taking in an unlimited number of illegal aliens and treating them better than we treat American citizens. These illegal aliens are receiving multiplied millions of dollars of benefits: debit card, free health care, free transportation, and free housing. There are three important principles that American leaders are ignoring. I want to mention these three principles, and then I want to look at them in detail and to give documentation. First of all, don't reward bad behavior. Secondly, don't discourage good behavior. Thirdly, remove the criminals from places of administrative authority in government. Now let's look at these principles a little more closely. First, don't reward bad behavior. Unfortunately, the Biden administration is rewarding bad behavior over and over and over again. Coming into America illegally is bad behavior. No country tolerates it except America. The fact is, secure borders with walls, barbed wire, police dogs, and water cannon really works. We have millions of illegal aliens coming into the United States, many of whom are criminals and are on the terror watch list, and we reward them. This is madness. If you reward bad behavior, you will have more bad behavior. You don't need to have a postgraduate degree in psychology, neuroscience, or be a licensed therapist to realize that this is a fundamental principle that must not be ignored. The title of this report is this: Is America creating a society of criminals? The answer is yes, 1,000 times yes. We are planting the seeds of criminal behavior, fertilizing those seeds, and reaping a rich crop of criminals. Other national leaders are well aware of our administrative stupidity, and they are taking advantage of our stupidity. A Fox News report reveals that Mexican President Manuel Lopez Obrador is demanding that the United States perform a series of requirements in order for Mexico to cut off the millions of illegals who are flowing through his country and entering the United States illegally. In addition to that, President Obrador is demanding that the United States give $20 billion to Latin American countries on an annual basis, lift sanctions on Venezuela, end the Cuban embargo, and give legal status in America to the millions of Mexicans who are here illegally. In other words, America is being blackmailed. I want to make it very clear, I don't hate Mexicans, Venezuelans, or Hispanics. In fact, America has a lot of Hispanics who came here legally. They love America, are good citizens, and know that illegal immigration is ruining America. If you reward bad behavior, people will come. My second principle, don't discourage good behavior. Americans who are demonstrating good behavior are being heavily taxed. They are being harassed by government agencies. They are paying more for food, utilities, and other necessities, and are being made to look like they are racist and haters. Moreover, good parents who love their children and want the best for them are being called Nazis. Think I'm kidding? America's First Lady, Jill Biden, was speaking at a human rights campaign fundraising dinner in Los Angeles recently. She spent part of her speech making a comparison between book bans and Nazi Germany. She likened Nazis to parents who frequently attend school board meetings and expressed outrage over explicit and pornographic books appearing in school libraries of a child's curriculum. The First Lady is comparing good parents who are trying to shield their kids from smut to Nazis. I don't believe there is any comparison. Mrs. Biden's logic is about as illogical as those who would compare marbles to teddy bears. Before we go to our third principle, let me repeat 1 and 2. Don't reward bad behavior. Don't discourage good behavior. Third, remove the criminals from positions of administrative authority in our government. We need to vote them out of office. A recent Fox News report has a revealing title, Biden Administration Weaponizing Federal Agency to Block Parents' Efforts at Removing Pornography from Schools, close quotes. The Department of Education Office of Civil Rights will begin informing districts on how reviewing and removing books from schools challenged by parents can create a racially and sexually hostile environment in violation of federal law, according to an announcement from the White House. The heavy boot of big government is coming down hard on those who are trying to protect their kids. That is wrong. Some parents know the evils of smut and were perhaps delivered from evil. They know pornography, sex sin, and the loosening of morals does nothing but suck the creativity and joy of kids out of their hearts. That's why they are rightly trying to protect their kids. Donald Trump's enemies are continually playing the democracy card. Quote, elect Donald Trump and you can kiss freedom goodbye, close quotes. Well, we can rightfully say, elect a Democrat and you will be visited by the Gestapo. Weaponizing the government to crush a dissenting view is not democracy. May God help us. May God's people rise up in action, in writing, in speaking, and above all, in prayer and honoring the Lord Jesus Christ.